Hey Sagittarius, and welcome to your spiritual messages for the month of January, and of course any other time that you're guided to watch, as the intention of my messages is always to be timeless. And if this message does not resonate, please don't forget to check your other placements, because according to the astrology in the sky, you could be resonating with another placement than just your sun sign. All right, so it's very important to do that, because if this message isn't yours, then it's just not yours. Okay, don't make the shoe fit. Don't try to make a story yours that isn't your story. Okay. All right, so today I'm going to be pulling your energy, Sag, just yours, not about love and romance. So this is just what you need to know for spiritual guidance during this time frame. So I'm going to be pulling 3 cards. I'm going to pull a card for what's at the center of your current situation, your challenges, and what you need to know. All right. All right, let's see. What does Sagittarius need to know? One second. Just gonna do this really quickly. Okay, what is Sagittarius? What is at the center right now? Power, nice. Leo just had that in their spread also. Not in that position, but they had it in their 3-card spread also. The challenge, awareness. What do they need to know? Trapped in fear. All right. Interesting dynamic, Sagittarius. And then at the bottom of the deck, we have truth. So this is judgment. Okay. Something I have to just add really quickly is that how do I say this? So you see how trapped in fear is as what you need to know? You need to know that the only reason this awareness, this is the Magician, the only reason this is here is because you're trapped in fear. I just had to say that right away before I forget. We'll get into it as I go, of course, but I noted that right away. Okay, so your recent past is truth, judgment. So there's an awakening that you're undergoing right now, and it could have to do with a heartache and loss. This is the 3 of Swords over here, and that could have been a hard truth, a hard pill to swallow, that someone left you heartbroken, that there was nothing you could have done anymore, that there was an ending, there's a separation, there's a current separation right now. But I feel like because of this separation, it's allowing you to go within and finding your truth, your awakening, your spiritual ascension that is more important than anything else right now. Virgo had this in their spread too for the truth over here as well. So you could have Virgo in your chart. Doesn't have to be the case, obviously, but there's definitely a spiritual journey that you're undergoing. The same story that I gave to Virgo was that if you notice, she's wearing like a bag, and the way she's dressed to me shows that she's been on a journey, and she's going within, right, into the stars, into the ethers, into your crown chakra. That's what that's about, right? Going within. And I feel like that's what you guys have been doing in this time, and you've been 333 on the screen. There you go, mind, body, and spirit. I feel like that's what you guys have been focusing more so on. It's yourself. The Trinity, the 3 powers everyone has in one soul. And that's your truth. That's your revelation. And you could be manifesting with your thoughts at this time. Even though it is coming up as your challenge, I feel like it's just, you're recognizing that you can manifest anything. So you understand that you have been thinking negatively, and it could be hard for you to maneuver your thoughts into positive ones, but that's what you're also learning here with truth. All right, let's see what this truth is about. What is this awakening that Sagittarius is undergoing? The High Priestess, beautiful. Yeah. Oh, look at that. We have judgment underneath over here as well. Yeah, so that's your truth, is that you have all the answers within yourself. Okay, you could be tapping into divination right now. You could be very spiritually inclined. You could also be a tarot reader of sorts, and just going within and knowing things that are mysterious to others. You know, you find the answers. It's just heavy, heavy third eye energy here. And you know the truth, Sagittarius. And you know why heartache and loss happens, right? Like, you understood why this had to happen. The separation needed to happen in order for you to step into your power. And we do have power over here also. So that is your truth, and that is your power. That you're the high priestess. And it takes undergoing these journeys and these separations and these losses in order for us to find that. Because sometimes when we're with people or spending too much of our energy on things that we shouldn't, we don't put in the time into getting to know ourselves. So I feel that if there was separation that just happened and there was a loss that just happened, it was for your own good. And it was a reason, there was a reason that it happened. It was for you to go within. And you unlocked these powers within yourself. So that's beautiful. All right, so yeah, your current energy is power. This is strength. You're figuring out your strength. You're figuring out where your powers are. You know, you're understanding that you're a mountain. You're unshakable, immovable. Like, nobody can take you down from here. The only person who has the power to kind of bring you down your power here is yourself. And that's a power in itself right there, that nobody has the power to shake you. Only you have the power to shake you. And that's where you want it to be, right? You want to be your own worst enemy. You don't want to have enemies. Whoa. Yeah, look at that, King of Cups. I feel like you're finding power in your emotions too, in your emotional frequencies, where before you were afraid to step into the heart chakra. You thought that being vulnerable and showing emotion was weak, and now you're understanding that that's the opposite. The opposite is true, that emotional vulnerability is power. All right, the King of Cups, he's known to not wear his heart on his sleeve. Even though he does, he just doesn't show it. Right, there's power in that too, to master your emotions. And I feel like that's what you've been doing. You've been mastering your emotions, Sagittarius. Whereas before, you could have been like an emotional mess. You could have been all over the place. You could have been escaping and finding ways to cope and never wanting to sit down with your emotions because they were too scary. And you finally sat down with that and figured out that this is where your true power lies. It's in emotional vulnerability. And then we have the Chariot at the bottom of the deck over here. So there was something that you felt the need to go after, you know, and it could be love. The Chariot doesn't have to be about love, but you know, this is Cancer energy, very similar to the King of Cups here, where it's very emotional. You know, Cancers are very emotionally expressive, but they choose when to be emotionally expressive. It's only when the right ones have the honor to see that, because Cancers are very emotional, but they only show that with some people. And this is going after your heart's desire too. So I feel like love is definitely at the forefront of your energy field right now. And that's where you're finding your true power, that you're not afraid to love anymore. I feel like you used to be afraid to love. And you're not letting this heartache over here that recently happened, you're not letting that get you either. You're leveling up and you're moving into a phase that understands that you're not your heartache, you're not your losses, you're not your past. There's power in moving into the future and carrying your heart still. There's power in wearing your heart on your sleeve too, because you recognize that your heart can get broken at any moment, but you're okay with that because you know that you're going to come up on top anyways. You have the heart of a lion. I just heard that. That's beautiful. Yeah, the heart of a lion. There's a Kid Cudi song titled that. I don't know if you guys listen to Kid Cudi, but it's a really good song. So I would suggest listening to that. All right, so I don't know why I just keep being drawn to this power card. Just like staring at it. Sorry, but I feel like there's like another message trying to come through, but I have to like really focus on it. Yeah, I feel like you've just gone through many challenges right now and you're just coming out on top. And the way you face this adversity over here with this 3 of Swords, you recognized your power. You're like, damn, I really underwent that and I really tackled that the way that I did, and that was very triumphant. Emotional mastery, for sure. Okay, moving on. So your challenge is awareness. This is the Magician. Okay, so your challenge, you're having challenges with what you're manifesting. And again, it's because of this 8 of Swords over here. But you are having trouble with your awareness in the sense that I feel like you know these things about yourself. You know that you have mastered your emotions, that you've wear your heart on your sleeve and you're not afraid of love anymore. You know that, but there's always this little voice in your head that kind of goes back into the fear. And that's why this is coming up as your blockage, because you struggle with that sometimes still. Like, how do I say this? Like, you know what's up, but you still struggle with it. Like, you have your good days and you have your bad days. Okay, and it's like, you know your strong suits in certain areas, but you don't feel you have strong suits in everything. So when that little negative voice comes in, it really affects your manifestations, because you let your thoughts get the best of you. So that's where that awareness is coming into a challenge here, because you challenge being aware that you're this all the time. Like, you know you're this, but you go back and forth with it a lot. So you struggle with that awareness. And when you struggle with your power, it's going to affect your thoughts, and your thoughts create your reality. And, you know, thoughts are manifestations. And when you don't know who you are 100% of the time, it affects your awareness and your manifestations. Okay, I hope that makes sense. But like, right now you're feeling on top of the world. Okay, but then there's always this little voice in your head that kind of ruins it. You're never 100% certain, is what I'm feeling. Why is awareness a blockage? Yeah, look at that. 2 of Pentacles. Just what I was saying. You go back and forth with that a lot. You're never certain of yourself. It's like I said, you're your own worst enemy, which is what you want, right? You don't want to be like other people affecting you. It's not other people, it's just you. But that is going to change. We have the Wheel of Fortune here, so long as you continue to soul search and find yourself. The Hermit. Go within. And I feel like you've been spending a lot of time alone right now, because you know that when you're around people, it could shake you off your vibrations, and it kind of throws you off your power a little bit. Like I said, you know you're this, but there's always this little voice in your head that kind of just throws you off balance. And you have to be certain with your with your manifestations, right? You have to be clear and concise with your manifestations. You can't be going back and forth with your manifestations, because that's exactly what is going to result. If you give out contradictory energy into the world, you're going to receive contradictory results. So you have to be really, really certain as to what it is that you want. Believe that it's yours. Believe that you deserve it, and it will be yours. But if you go back and forth and you're like, maybe I deserve it, or maybe I don't know, I'm not so sure, You know, it's like you doubt yourself. And that's what throws this off balance. So be careful with that. Just be certain. And only then will the Wheel of Fortune turn in your favor. Okay, because the Wheel of Fortune is going how it's going to go. And you have the power of manifestation of like where it's going to stop with fate and destiny, right? I know fate and destiny is already played out, whatever. But you know what I mean? Like, if you're manifesting that the Wheel of Fortune is going to land on your favor, that's what's going to happen. But if you're confused, then the Wheel of Fortune is going to be confused too. Okay, I hope that makes sense. Okay, so what you need to know, yeah, 8 of Swords, trapped in fear. That you're your oh my God, sorry, I can't talk. That you are your own worst enemy. This sounds awful, but it's true. And I'm a Sag moon, so if I call you guys out, I'm calling myself out too, okay? But, yeah. Your own fear-based thoughts throw you off your equilibrium here. It's like it's almost too good to be true, I feel. Like when you're on your power, when you're like feeling on top of the world, you always feel like it's too good to be true. You're like, when is this going to end? When is that bad thing going to happen? You know, there's always that part of you that always thinks that. And then that's why your manifestations don't come into fruition, because then the universe is like, what the, you know, like, what are you doing? Have you not learned your lesson? And this heartache over here, that could have been a result of negative thinking too. Could have been very scatterbrained thoughts that where you felt you didn't deserve love, you fumbled that bag. And it was only because you were trapped in fear. All right. Why do they need to know the 8 of Swords? Ooh, 2 cards. I'll take that. Yeah, look at that. I was just talking about love. And here comes the Ace of Cups. The Chariot and the Fool. Yeah, I feel like your fears don't allow you to take this leap of faith that's going to get this momentum going with the Chariot. It's like you could fear this new beginning also. Again, you could feel that it's too good to be true. That when things start to pick up and these activations start happening in your life, you could feel like, wait, that's too good to be true. But it also comes from like trauma, you know, that things haven't worked out in your favor in the past. And that's why it's hard for you to accept it when it's happening in the present moment. It's like almost too good to be true, like I keep saying. And I feel like that's why it's like the past trauma comes to haunt you in your thoughts sometimes. And when things are going really well, it's like you almost can't believe it. So you self-sabotage and then you're like, I knew it. I knew it. You know what I mean? Like, it's a lot of that energy. And it's like when love starts to come towards you and this new beginning with love starts to come towards you. Yeah, you're like thrown off by it and you're like, what? That's not how that works. Usually I'm heartbroken by now. So you manifest that. You manifest heartbreak when you expect heartbreak. You have to believe it, Sagittarius, that it's yours. That somebody will come towards you and take this leap of faith with you. You have to believe that. And the reason love hasn't happened, if you're one of those who haven't felt like your relationships have been the easiest, it's only because you don't believe in that. Right? We're a result of our thoughts, so yeah. All right, but that's what I have for you, Sag. Overall, yeah, you just need to know that you're in power and you are mastering emotions the way you think you are. So don't forget that. Don't forget who you are. Don't forget that you're in power, Sagittarius, and that's your awareness. That's what you need to know, because when you start doubting yourself and you stop thinking that you're not in power, that's when the manifestations crumble. So don't forget that. Okay? All right, so let's finish it off with the Fairy Oracle and see what messages they have for you. Okay, what messages do we have for Sagittarius? Beautiful, we have 2 cards for you guys. Okay, so we have new beginnings. This fairy godmother heralds the joyous news of a new baby or the birth of a cherished idea. Protect and nurture your ideas as you would a baby. There you go. See, I feel like this goes back to this idea of manifestation. It's like whatever this cherished idea is for you, protect and nurture it. Don't doubt it. Don't be trapped in fear about it. Otherwise, you're going to ruin the baby. You're going to give bad energy to the baby, and you don't want that. Hope. Hope is always there, even if we can't see it. Optimistic expectations can help change a negative situation into a positive one. Beautiful. That's like the summary of this reading, basically. That you control your thoughts. Optimistic expectations. And Sagittarius, you guys are the optimists of the zodiac. But, you know, it's like, it's hard also to be the one who always has the positive attitude. And I feel like you guys pick up others from negative situations. You very well know how to put hope into people, but people don't really do that for you. So you have to pick yourself up. Nobody else is going to do that for you, unfortunately. But that's the responsibility that we have as Sagittarius, to keep it pushing and be the positive ones. And at the bottom of the deck, we have purity. Always trust in the purity of your heart. Look inside your heart, and within it, you will find the answer to your question. There you go. All right. So that is what I have for you, Sagittarius. I hope you enjoyed that message. If you did, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, as it helps spread this message and also supports the channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in your next reading.